welcome, welcome. Thank you guys for being here. Good morning and good morning. Hello, hello, and hello. Welcome, everyone. Thank you guys for being here. Thank you guys for being here. Hello, come on in, come on in, come on in. Grand Rising, Rich Rising. What? What in the heck? All right, so we got a message this morning. We make plans and God laughs. Because as y'all know, I was actually supposed to be on a flight right now, and flight got canceled. And so here I am. Apparently, the airports are all backed up. People are stuck in places. And this was actually booked as a birthday trip for me from somebody else. And stuff is just doing whatever it's doing. So we just have to be mindful and ready to go with the flow. Thank you for being here, ready and to go with the flow. And literally, I got right almost to the door of the airport, y'all, and they said, bitch, get somebody else to do it. So then I got the confirmation, but for some reason, I had been saying, and I already knew that they were going to cancel. Like, because I have been watching everything that was happening with the airports and at the airports, and literally I kept saying, I know. Welcome, Pamela. Hi, welcome. Thank you for being here. I was just saying that I was supposed to be on a flight this morning, so this is the reason why I'm here at this moment in time. But as y'all know, we make plans and God laughs because, you know, God already knew whatever was happening. But the thing is, I kind of knew since last night that it was going to get canceled anyway because of the fact that I had been watching the flights and everything else. But let me tell y'all something about God. God is good, because even though, like I said, this had been booked as a birthday trip for me from somebody, my child basically, so not from somebody, my son, had booked me a flight for my birthday. And so the amazing part about the whole entire thing is I was able to, even though they canceled it, and this is the thing, it was a blessing in disguise, because, you know, although I want to do what I want to do and, you know, be in a location, it kind of, you know, did a thing, meaning, and I don't really know if I want to really say what actually happened, but nobody lost out on anything, and actually we actually gained by, you know, whatever it happened, other than the fact that me not being able to go, you know, to the location. We made planning God laughs. No matter how much we try to control life, no matter how much we try to control life, there's a bigger force, timing, or intelligence at work that can redirect everything in ways we didn't expect. So that's a fact. So we make plans and God laughs. No matter how much you try to control life, there's a bigger. I'm just trying to make sure that I put you know, the actual title there. So everybody, welcome. Thank you for being here. Come on in. And again, I wasn't supposed to be here, but I guess I'm supposed to be here. So because, you know, I would have went live with y'all from elsewhere along the way, but there's a bigger force, timing, or intelligence at work that can redirect everything in ways that can redirect everything. There's a bigger force, timing, or intelligence, because y'all gotta fit it into this one thing, that can redirect everything in ways we didn't expect, but I gotta move that. Anyway, so I guess I gotta even move that too, because literally, hi everybody, welcome, thank you for being here, come on in. So I know I told y'all that I was supposed to be on a flight this morning, but I'm here with y'all, so, you know, I'm where I'm supposed to be when I'm supposed to be here. Messages we make plain in God laughs. There's a bigger force. I'm gonna just put there's a bigger force that can redirect everything. And that's what it's gonna be, because literally I'm trying to go through and make everything there. TK Labs High, redirect everything in ways we didn't expect. EX. Just leave it at that, because literally it is we didn't. EX. Alright, so we just gonna leave it at that. Push save and keep it pushing. Alright, I love y'all. Thank y'all for being here. You could have been anywhere in the world, but you're here with me. New tuber. Hi, welcome. Thank you for being here. Everybody come on in, come on in. I am setting everything up for y'all because, again, we're doing what we're doing. And we just winging it. And this is how it's going to be done. All right, so let's see. I'm going to go over here. And it says, the phrase, we make plans in God Labs. There's a bigger force or intelligence at work that can redirect everything in ways we didn't expect. It's not really about God laughing in a mocking way. It's more like life has its own timing. You didn't see the full picture yet. What you might plan might be smaller than what's actually meant for you. What you plan might be smaller than what's actually meant for you. Because we talked about when a door closes that you didn't expect, and you could be in the waiting room, the hallway, and you could be mourning whatever's over here, but the message was that there's something so much bigger that you haven't seen yet, that you may not have even thought you would be prepared for, but something is in the midst. Sometimes what feels like things falling apart is really things being rerouted. And like I said, it turned out to be a blessing only because I still get to be able to book the flight whenever I feel like it because it was already paid for. Also, they get to get their money back. So the airport actually had to honor the fact that I was actually going to be on the flight. So it kind of worked out good, except for the fact that, of course, maybe I would want to be there, but divine timing. Right now, there's a lot of people at the airports. I don't know if y'all been paying attention to the airports, but a lot of people are being held up. A lot of airports are actually closed. A lot of people are stuck at the airport. Florida airport has been, I've seen people saying that they, where the flights were canceled for 3 days. Why? Because apparently, and I didn't know this, and I was thankful to know this because literally I started saying that I didn't want to be in the mix of things either. And like I said, my flight had been booked. It was a birthday gift from my son. So then I realized that there's a government shutdown. So I don't know if y'all know that or not, but apparently because of the government shutdown, the airport is experiencing a lot of issues. And apparently the people that work there, TSA and everything, is not getting paid. And so to me, when I found out, because I just started monitoring, the airport since I was supposed to be on a flight, I didn't want to be in the midst of what was happening with them anyway, because I would have an attitude if you get to come here and doing what you want to do. Now you trying to rush me. Meanwhile, I'm not getting paid for me being on my job. Like, nobody wants to do a job that they're not getting paid for. So quite frankly, I kept saying that I didn't want to be in the midst of what was happening because I don't want to feel like I'm adding insult to injury to anybody, because here I am at the air, didn't know that that was all happening, and here I'm at the airport expecting people to service me because this is your job, but meanwhile they should be getting paid for the job. And then come to find out that it's been going on for so long, and a lot of people are not showing up because they have to, or they had to go try to get another job in order for them to be able to pay the bills. But then it's people saying the government is telling them that they still need to go to work. And y'all, what is happening in society today? Because to me it's like every time, and for all the beautiful things that are happening, there's also a set of craziness that's happening on the other side. Because why is the government in charge of the airport? Why is it not something to where they are not being held up? Because the airport is a critical transportation method and mode for the world. So if there's a government shutdown, they shouldn't be hindered by, not being paid in any form or fashion. So I don't know if, y'all agree, but that's what I think, because now it's hindering people who are trying to go somewhere. You could be, out ready to do something for work, this, that, and the third, but because of whatever the mess they have going on, it is now, interfering with people's travel, people getting home, people doing the things that they need to do. But mind you, again, that's a critical, vital transportation mode and method. They already got too much stuff going on. So I don't know, what they're going to do about that. And does anybody know who pays the pilots? Because does that mean that the pilots aren't getting paid either? That was one of the questions that I wanted to know. So you plan one path, but delays, detours, and even losses end up pushing you towards something deeper, wiser, and more aligned. Now, I don't know, what this means in the whole gamut or aspect of life, but this could be so many different things. Relationships, careers, jobs, personal situations. Because just think, it is people right now actively. I saw a girl that was talking about she just was booking her a random trip to Punta Cana because she can. And she was going to go by herself. She gets to the airport and they cancel her trip. She lost her trip. Why? Not because of the cancellation, but because the TSA is backed up because there's so many people going in and out. And if they cancel your flight, then you can get the money back. That's one thing. But if the flight is still a go, but TSA and everything is backed up, then that means you missed your flight, and that is a whole nother thing. But mind you, some of the people are saying that they've been at the airport for like over 5 hours. And I don't think any of the waits was that long from what I've seen, because when I started watching it, it was saying that it was up to an hour delay, depending upon, when you get wherever you're going. Anyway, long story short, she said that she ended up losing out on the money and the her trip. So now that's just a bust and a wash. But this is the thing. She was going by herself, and of course nobody wants to lose the money, but what if God was actually protecting her, spiritually from something else happening on the other side? And sometimes we just want to do what we want to do, but we don't know the experience or what is laying in wait or laying in tuck for us. We just know that we want to do the thing that, we set up to do. Meanwhile, God's saying, hold on, I'm protecting you from whatever could be on the other side of that. Because at this moment, it's a lot of stuff happening, and we looking at it with our visual, our carnal eyes, not with our spiritual eyes. Like, even in the midst of this, is so much stuff that you could be being saved from. And I'm talking about it as far as the flight and TSA, the airport. But mind you, this experience is also affecting outside of that. So just imagine you yourself, you may be traveling on the highways and byways, and stuff starts happening to, you're seeing it, you see the delays, but yet you're in a rush. You're trying to get where you want to go, but meanwhile, at every time you try to speed up, God puts another car in front of you that is slowing you down. And a lot of times people end up, road rage, this, that, and the third. That could technically be your lesson. Why are you so much in a rush? Meanwhile, where are you rushing to? Death? A lot of people do not realize, like, it's time to slow down. Slow down and be able to enjoy the moment. Enjoy that drive. Enjoy the walk. Enjoy the conversation. Because that's what's important for right now at this moment in time. Whatever you're doing, and we done had this message multiple times, like the now, in the now. And as you know, I was going and we getting closer to the airport, and I'm telling my son, because he didn't heard me already this morning, I kept saying they're going to cancel it. I know they're going to cancel it. They're going to wait until we get right there, and then they're going to freaking cancel it. I already knew it, right? Like I said, watching the whole entire thing. So my one son that was taking me, soon as we got close to the airport, like literally, like we was touching it, message comes across, canceled. And I proceeded to tell him, I'm like, I'm sorry that, you because he had to wake up early to go ahead and take me over there. And then now he has to drive me all the way back home before he starts his day. But this was also the funny part, that even though so many things have already transpired, like before 6 o'clock this morning, it was so much stuff already happening and transpiring, this going this way, this going this way, everything still seemed to be on time. Like, the one son, by the time he brought me back, he said it's cool because it would be the time that he would be starting anyway. So even though it may seem like we could be behind or we could be late, we're actually still on time. I normally start here at 8:15, but I was actually in the house, at the time to be able to get online. But then I had to set the cameras back up because I had packed y'all away into some bags. And then I had to pull out the chargers and everything else to be able to put everybody where they needed to be. But delays, detours, and even losses end up pushing you towards something deeper, wiser, or more aligned. Somebody may be having a bad day. Somebody may need to hear this message. This may be the very thing that somebody needed before it was, the crash out moment. Because I've been saying so far lately, whatever's happening in the energy, and, sometimes I have to remind myself too, so message could just be for me. It's okay. And that's how I was talking to myself the other day. Like, I'm literally recording, but in the middle of it, y'all don't know, like, my insides felt like they were very chaotic and very, all over the place. So I'm talking to myself like, it's okay. Whatever's happening is okay. This is the way that it's meant to be. But mind you, everything that has been happening has even still been blessing me in the process. And that's the thing. Do you see the small wins? The small blessings, the things that you may, think that you should be doing in the process, and then it gets detoured or it gets, pushed to the side, because it's not like you can't do it. You can still do it. Maybe this moment is not when it's supposed to be done. So, more grounded way to read it. Plan with intention. Yeah, always. Move with effort, but also be able to, sense the signs, see the movement, see where the universe is, redirecting us. Stay flexible enough to pivot when life shifts. I wasn't upset. I just came right back. And then in a minute, as soon as I got back in the house, stuff started coming across my phone, email. We're giving you this because, it's our bad that you did this. This is happening. This is happening. So, but on another note, like other people, they may have set up like, they're going somewhere to see their loved one or something of that nature. I seen a mom, and apparently her son was being pushed back, a lot. And she was in a whole nother state. She was going to have to drive 12 hours to go pick up her child. So a lot of people are being affected by certain things, but maybe this might be the moment that the child was supposed to be able to handle what it needed to handle, or maybe this was the moment, for the mother. It's all in whatever's happening, and for us to see it, recognize it, what's the silver lining behind it. So be flexible enough to pivot when life shifts, because control is limited, but alignment is powerful. What if the mom going to pick up the son is what was necessary and needed? The mom is going to have to stop for gas multiple times. What if she's the person that God is using to intersect? Her life intersects with somebody else now, and that's how God had to get her to that location. It had to hold her son at the airport and then send her on her way to go get him. The alignment be so perfect, like you can tell it only could have been God. So we don't know what her journey's about to bring her, but the mere fact that her child got placed here, and now she had to be the driver to go and recover her child. But along her pathway, along her journey, God placed her at whatever, fuel station, whatever store, whatever it was, God placed her in that moment in time for her to be able to cross paths with whoever she's going to meet. Like, the timing be impeccable. And we never know why certain things are happening. They just happen. I made plans, life made adjustments, and somehow it worked out better than I imagined. Man, like, if you can actually sit back and think about how many times God has done that, or the universe has done that, or whatever it is that you believe in, whatever, if you can think about, even if you don't even believe in God, because, people don't be believing in God. They be, thinking that everything, and I'm not judging. But the fact of the matter is how many times has that happened to you? Like, where things just lined up so perfectly and you ended up in a place or a location that you wouldn't have been in, or something happened to put you in, a situation to be able to intersect life with a person. And you were right where you meant to be at that moment in time, but you also know, like, there's no way this would have happened if this didn't happen. There's no way that I could have received this blessing, and that could be the other thing. God trying to give you a blessing, trying to open a door for you, and you rushing trying to get, you are straight here, but mind you, the universe is saying this door is opening for you. Mind you, that's been one of my prayers. I don't want to miss a door. When the door is open and somebody says, I'm talking to you, I don't want to ignore, the person or the situation. I want to be able to see it. I want to be in alignment. I want to be at the destined place at the destined time when it's supposed to be. So I've been putting that into my prayer. So I can't push when the universe is showing me this is, happening. It's out of your control. Mind you, as I was having that moment, I was saying these things, I want to do this, but meanwhile, everything's out of my control. And I was referencing the internet when last week it started Wednesday night, the internet started glitching. Thursday morning, some Xfinity guy was outside the house. Friday morning, there was another Xfinity guy, because the Thursday Xfinity guy unplugged my cable and my phone does not work at my house. And mind you, come to find out, a lot of people have that issue, and I don't know why that would be, but the phone should actually have its own internet, hotspot, Wi-Fi, everything. And so why is the phone not working? Anyway, long story short, the one that comes on Friday tells me that the guy that came on Thursday unplugged my cable, never hooked my cable back up, never came back over here to see if he plugged my cable back up. He just went on about his merry little way. So the one on Friday came and he did a whole cleanup on everything, but something was still transpiring in the wires, the, system. And I get online here again with y'all, and apparently I pulled too much, hot wire or whatever. It shut the whole system down again. Meanwhile, it looked like the system was running, but there was a whole lot of interference in the system. Didn't find that out until I'm saying something's still not working right. I called back Sunday morning. Guess what? Sunday afternoon, I'm having another tech here. All weekend, I'm saying I'm not streaming because I've been streaming on Twitch since January the 26, I think, somewhere around there. Been streaming over there. Over here, been streaming, trying to do, sleep streams, this, that, and the third. Meanwhile, nothing's working. Everything's dropping. My phone is not working. And I'm saying, as soon as stuff starts doing what it's supposed to do, meaning I make a decision that this is what I'm going to do, this is what I want to do, and then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, everything's messed up. And so I also need to do other stuff, other work that, is online that I'm trying to do. But meanwhile, I can't do anything because the internet is messed up. Mind you, also in the process of all this stuff happening, still receiving a blessing behind it actually happening. And I couldn't do what I wanted to do based off of it was out of my control. I don't work at Xfinity. I don't know how to get the system back up. I can't force the phone to work and, you know, it to do whatever it needs to do. Meanwhile, even when it was working just a little bit, like it literally would only show me little bits of stuff. It wasn't loading. So there was nothing that I could potentially do. No matter how much I called over there and cussed them out, no matter how much credit they added to my phone, and I'm saying, y'all are really trying me. Mind you, it didn't have nothing to do with the people. It was totally out of my control. So I had to just chill. I literally just decided that I'm going to get me something to eat really good and I'm going to watch TV. Lo and behold, that turned out to be a blessing, because then I started seeing something that was a part of the journey, something that I needed to see. What the hell was I watching? I ended up watching something Cold Creek or something, which ended up being about some supernatural thing that happened. A man died because a woman has schizophrenia. He came over trying to do some weird shit. She kicked his ass, but she killed him in the process. Threw the nigga in a ditch. Something about some supernatural stuff ended up happening because some bugs and something. Anyway, long story short, it was a good thing, but I didn't finish watching the second season or something. But anyway, I got to be able to sleep and rest, get some well-needed rest and sleep that I probably wouldn't have gotten if, in fact, that, you know, my internet and my service was working, because I'll be busy doing all the stuff. And then here I am on the internet with y'all, telling y'all how I feel, because my system, me, inside, is wanting to crash out over the fact that I got stuff that I'm wanting to do, but God has me on a internet blackout. So I still honestly don't know what's going on in the world, because, you know, by the time I was able to get on the internet, I started focusing on the airport, because I was getting ready to head to the airport. So I honestly don't know what's happening in the world. But mind you, what they're also showing me is maps keep showing up. So now I'm looking at ancient old maps and I'm realizing, y'all, the amount of distortion that has gone on, and I'm going to say entertainment purposes only on this part, because, you know, of course, they don't want you knowing about old maps and this, then a third. And I'm supposed to tell y'all something. What am I supposed to tell y'all? Oh, entertainment purposes on y'all only. And I want to cry. Like, I'm going to just tell y'all right now. And the reason why I want to cry is because of this. Suppose they told us up was down and down was up, and we believed them. And mind you, we went through this the whole entire time in life. So I happen to be running across something, entertainment purposes only, and I'm going to keep saying this, but my system is telling me I'm not wrong. So, we have something that's in the Bible. Everybody knows about the giants, okay? And the story they tell us is David and Goliath. So, in the story, the fallen angels came down and they saw the daughters of man. I don't know what's happening right here, but I'm turning more golden. Okay? So, I love it, okay? Increase estimate 205 live viewers with 22 in promote. Why do TikTok always want somebody to pay to promote some shit that they should be doing? Like, is this not y'all job? Like, why is everything on here a thing with money for them? Like, I'm a content creator. Y'all should be promoting the content. Why is it, if it's a good thing, why are you wanting me to pay for it to be put out if it's not making sense? But anyway, so the Nephilim, the fallen angels, they had babies, David and Goliath. So David and Goliath is a triumphant story of the small guy that triumphs over the big guy. Right? That's what they said. Y'all, entertainment purposes only. My system is telling me that we purged the system of them. Now, take it like this. I'm black, right? You can clearly see that. Or brown, however they want to put it. Because in the book, they called me red. Mind you, my dad kept saying red bone, calling me that the whole entire time I was young, right? And so, now it's starting to make sense because it was a color for, it was weird because I got this thing that's on my phone and it shows a book from a old time and it tells you what colors they put people in. Mind you, I think they had us in yellow, but because my history is the history, I would have been in red. Anyway, so imagine you being a black person, right, on this earth, and you are the creator of, life. Entertainment purposes only, but science says that, right? Because you can take black and make anything. You can't take anything and make any other thing, right? All right, but racism. So I'm black. I'm on a land that belongs to us, or brown, or however you want to say it, indigenous, to this system. Mind you, I'm from Delaware. And for those of you that know, Delaware is the first state. And those of you that don't know, Delaware is the first state. So a part of, the colonies that they talk about. And so as I'm looking into everything, I'm starting to notice something. My dad's family is, they call them Moors, Cheswell. Cheswell, Blackfoot Indian is my grandmom's people, Nanacoke, like literally whatever the area is my family, right? Lenni Lenape, whatever Indian background, indigenous background that's there is a part of it, right? So now I'm starting to see that, people come over here and they decide that we don't belong here, right? Mind you, we were here first, right? For all intents and purposes, don't even worry about that because that's not what's important. What's important is this. People come over here and then all of a sudden they want to purge the system of the natural resources, the natural people, the natural background, right? And so now I'm in a place where people despise me, but this is my home. And they want to get rid of me and my kind, but mind you, this is our home. It's like an alien invader coming to Earth, entertainment purposes only, an alien invader coming to Earth and saying that they don't want the human race on this Earth. And so they start purging the whole entire system. We would fight them, right? All right, so before whatever happened, the angels, the fallen angels, saw the daughters of men. They were beautiful. They came down. They started producing, having babies with them, this, that, and the third. Now, the issue with some of the babies was that they were oversized, right? And so, hence, stick in a picture from, 1902 or something. I don't know. When you start seeing people that are oversized with normal-sized families. Entertainment purposes only. Now, there used to be a whole lot of pictures of these people. So sometime during the 1800s is when a lot of fuckery started to happen, because if you kind of go back before that, stuff was happening, but something transpired heavily during a certain period of time. Anyway, so if you go back and you look at the antiquities or the history or the way that stuff was built, it was almost built like it was built for oversize. Entertainment purposes only. Go look at it. And so if stuff was built for oversize, that means that oversized people had to have done it. Or that there was a reason why stuff was oversized. And so again, if you look at certain pictures or certain time frames, you see a lot of these people just enjoying life, having families. I seen a chair with a big person, but now it's like an anomaly when you see a person that is, supersized. But mind you, entertainment purposes only, but there's a tribe of, people who are taller, right? And it started to make me feel sad, Because this is the thing. Remember, there was the giant trees and things of that nature. Y'all can tell that these were actually trees, right? Y'all can tell that there was places that had certain types of nature and this, that, and the third, and now it doesn't have it. And then it dawned on me. The same people that came over here that don't like me, that want me to be gone from my home, almost seem like the same people that would have kind of kicked out the taller people. And then they try to destroy the history, entertainment purposes only, because I have to. Then they try to kick out the taller people that were here because they wanted to erase the history again. So imagine you were here and you was just living life, beforehand, because this is your home, and everything, there's good and bad. So yes, you may have had a, huge ass person that was trying to, eat the people, but we got little people trying to eat the people too. Nobody's saying nothing about them. For some reason, they're thriving. Every day I get on this app, somebody saying they took these little girls and they did this. Entertainment purposes only, because for what I just seen, they have facilities that they took people and they breeding. These are children and they thriving perfectly fine. So in my heart, it felt like, what if David and Goliath is another lie? It's not a triumphant story. It's an extermination. Entertainment purposes only. Because why are there pictures? Why is there history? Why are they destroying? Why would they have destroyed the best technology ever? Because if you go look at some of these things, how did this get built during this point in time? Something's not adding up. And so when you start to look at it, it's almost a thing where, like, we make plans and God laughs, because this is how we got here, one thing intersecting with the other. And although we don't know why, the truth is just spilling out here and there, but we do know why, because this is the moment, this is the time. God is trying to make us aware, and we don't need to shut our brains off to the simple fact that that story existed. And then they try to act as if, because once upon a time, not long ago, they said giants didn't exist. Entertainment purposes only. But mind you, there's pictures. Mind you, there's stories. There's a story in the Bible. And as I keep explaining to y'all, there is still some truth even in a lie. Even if a person lies to you to your face, there's still some type of substance in it that you have to hear it, you have to pull it out, and you have to, be able to read between the lines. But why is it now not normal to see that? What did we do? And why and I'm going to just say we in the simulation, only because we as a people are actively watching these people fucking play in our face, do everything they're doing, and ain't nobody lining up to say nothing. Ain't nobody lining up to do nothing. This is the moment where they're saying, we doing it, and we don't give a fuck. We showing y'all that we doing it. We don't give a fuck. What y'all gonna do? What y'all gonna do? People get on this app every day and they say, oh, it's little young girls that are being held. It's little young people that have done this. These people, entertainment purposes only, have used y'all as guinea pigs for this, that, and the third. And I really don't have to say entertainment purposes only, but I have to say entertainment purposes only, because otherwise the algorithm is already going to say she's saying stuff. But mind you, it's not going to say they're doing stuff. They're doing it. I'm not making it up. It's actively happening. It actively exists. But the only problem that they see is I'm telling y'all and I'm saying something. They don't see a problem that it was done. So now it's making me wonder, even in the triumphant stories where, you know, the little guy takes out the big guy. I love that. But also the little guy has to make sure of the target of the big guy. Because technically, we could be fighting on the wrong side. We could be doing the opposite of what we should be doing. And I can show you that in life. Pedos are being protected. It's a nigga that's the head of the, you know, world right now that don't know he the head of the world, but entertainment purposes only. It has been proven, documented, and everything. Beautiful rising, love you, thank you for being here. So we live in an upside down. Entertainment purposes only. Because are you entertained? Even that is upside down because I'm truly not entertained. I'm not laughing. I'm not happy about it. I'm thoroughly disgusted. But mind you, entertainment purposes only, I have to sit here and I have to deliver messages in ways that seem like it's okay. This shit ain't okay. Ain't nothing okay about it. And at some point in time, the argument or the situation has to be about right and wrong. Up and down. As above, so below. But again, we make plans and God laughs because guess what? God could already, you know, have this thing already worked out. And even though the evildoers seem to think that they're going to continue to be able to get away with doing stuff and, you know, touching stuff, sooner or later, it could be their very demise. But how many things in this earth are we going to continue to watch dissipate or, you know, go away or, you know, be taken away just because they're doing stuff? So I seen a map, right? And I'm going to say entertainment purposes only. I seen a map, and on this map, it's making me wonder who lives there. Y'all know there's a place, and again, entertainment purposes only, that they don't want us going to. I saw the old map from 15-something. Good morning, Dad. I love you. Thank you for being here. I saw a map that was an older map, and the way that the map is laid out, who lives over there? It's in that place that they keep telling us not to go to. Also, I saw some things that were on that map that I've never seen before in my life. Who lives over there? Now, it's funny how they brokered a deal, entertainment purposes only, that everybody agreed not to go to that location. What if they brokered the deal because they knew that some shit would get messed up for everybody if they came over to here? Because I keep telling y'all, this is the real life Game of Thrones. Look at it. It's not a game. Even now, entertainment purposes only, they're moving pieces around. Names get changed on maps. Go look them up. I saved some for you. I love you more. So, what is happening? And everybody loves the Game of Thrones, right? And I said, y'all are just well dressed. Y'all are better dressed than the people in the Game of Thrones that was give me some more, like y'all out here, you know, but they trying to take everybody back to where y'all just gonna be able to have to go stand in the line and eat slop. Meanwhile, they spending $93 billion, you know, all willy-nilly. And then a bitch spending, you know, billions of dollars on advertisements and things of that nature. But they want you to figure out how to spend $3 and feed your family. Does that not remind y'all of something? They're starting issues, entertainment purposes only. They're starting wars and things of that nature with people over stuff that don't belong to them. They're trying to go take land. Do it not sound like the Game of Thrones? And why, even in the Game of Thrones, everything was cool up until they hit that ice wall? Does it not remind you of something? Because I keep saying they playing in your face. My face, your kids' face, your great-grandparents' face, the faces of the papers. When they came over here saying that we got these talking papers on land that we don't know what the fuck that is, like, where you get that from? And now they're trying to tell us that you may not be from here and they control it. Do it not sound like the Game of Thrones? If they advance on you and take your property, now they own it and they're in control of it. Y'all not mad yet? Because y'all not going to get mad over the kids being molested. Y'all not going to be mad over that. Entertainment purposes only. Y'all definitely not going to be mad over that. Y'all not going to be mad over, raping and pillaging the village. Y'all not mad at that. Because, they can just come in at any given time and take whatever they want to. Y'all not going to get mad over that. So what the hell do a person have to do in order for y'all to figure out that at some point in time, even in the Game of Thrones, you're going to have to get y'all people together and we're going to have to, go for broke over this thing. If you don't stand for something, you're going to fall for anything. And right now, y'all people ain't standing for nothing because all we're going to do is talk about it. We're going to keep talking about it and talking about it and talking about it and talking about it until y'all bitches become extinct. Because that's what they do around here. Pretty soon, it's not going to be no help. Because y'all letting them take everybody. Y'all letting them do, everything. Somehow they lined up with everybody and they told people to take your, great-great-grandfather that was super duper huge. Because the thing that made me sad was the daughters of man, the fallen angel saw the daughters of man, they were beautiful. So they came down here and they started, doing whatever they was doing with them. Mind you, they made it seem like, okay, the destruction of the earth and the world, it was God's, plan, this, that, and the third. But mind you, they've been tampering with the weather. So was it God that really decided that, or was it God that told Noah that, oh, this is about to happen because the, wicked ones are doing whatever they're doing? It's just not adding up. Something's not right. And so we can't believe nothing that they say. So at what point in time do we now collectively try to figure out if the daughters of man are still here? That means that some of y'all do know that that DNA is still in existence. Because the earth still got populated again. And if you go look at the story, there's a story in the bloodline of what got saved that was a part of that. Something's still not adding up. And this is why I have a whole issue with everything that they have been trying to teach us, everything that they have been trying to force feed us with, because something's not adding up. The pictures exist. The people exist. They don't look like they was doing no harm. They look like they was having families. They look like they were working. They do look supersized. Why did they lie to us about the people existing, but also then they put it in the book? So one thing that we can gather is that the people actually existed because they took them from the book. But also, then they started covering up the buildings. What are we even supposed to do with this? So we make plans. We're using what we currently know, our perspective, our timing, our desires, our unlimited understanding or our limited understanding, because we thought we knew so much and meanwhile we know nothing. So our limited understanding. Thank you. Hey, Damon. Our limited understanding of what's ahead. But life or God operates from a very wider view. It sees connections, timing, and outcomes that we can't. Because God knows. I saw you before you were formed in your mother's womb. So for some of y'all, it may be the very thing that you don't know that next door that you're about to walk into is, very huge, very big, bigger than what you thought. Are you going to take the risk? Are you going to walk through the door? So we make plans and God laughs. It's not saying that your plans are stupid. It's saying that it's incomplete. We don't have all the information. We don't have all the information. They have not been telling us the truth this whole entire time. Everything has been a manipulation to gain control. Entertainment purposes only. But are you entertained? Are you happy with the way things are playing out, that you get in life, or you show up on the internet or anywhere else and there's stuff that's happening to your life or in your life that you did not authorize? It's out of your control. Why? Because we have people making rules and regulations on land and things that were never theirs. But it only benefits them and their family. They don't care about your family. They're going to wipe your whole entire family, your whole entire bloodline away. Entertainment purposes only. I shouldn't have to even say that, but guess what? They already did. Our bloodline, our history, our connections to the land is in a vault that they are in possession of. Your books, your history, the things that your ancestor wrote or even may have done is in another vault on a foreign country in a foreign land, and we're dealing with foreign invaders. This is the Game of Thrones. When is everybody going to wake up and decide that, sorry, for all intents purposes and entertainment purposes only, and I really do want to be here, but I'd rather die than live under their land, their rule, and anything else. You have to fight for what's yours. And if you don't, they're going to take it again and again and again and again. And that's why they stand in your face so proudly and so boldly and continue to keep saying history is going to repeat itself. Because they know y'all not going to do nothing. Y'all don't even have no fight in y'all. They get up here and they released 1.6 billion documents telling y'all all the stuff they have done right in your face. Meanwhile, y'all hear it and y'all, continue on. It's not going to matter to you until they're knocking at your doorstep or somebody comes up missing that is closely related to you. Because it's not going to matter until then. Entertainment purposes only. Mind you, we have to also pay attention to, I just saw a video and they said they found, I think 36 or 37 children, right? That were locked away. Some have been missing for at least 2 years. Entertainment purposes only. I ain't entertained. But anyway, the parents that they returned them kids to, and I don't want to say nothing about, but some of them didn't feel real. Like, it just didn't feel real to me. Like, you mean to tell me that that little child got missing, but how did that little child get missing? And I've been saying for the longest time, we have to start looking at the parents. And mind you, who's supposed to watch the children? The craziest thing to me is knowing that God trusted me. God trusted me to be the vessel to bring in, my children. And then I sold them off. That is crazy. Like, you don't feel no type of way that God trusted you as being the vessel to bring life into this planet, and then you sold your children off for whatever these people, or like, I would never do that. That is weird to me. Excuse me. They were not mine. They were not mine. They're not yours to give. It's a thing. Like, I don't understand why people do not realize, like, that is God entrusting you into a system. And guess what? You totally failed. You failed. Because how did your children end up in the hands of a predator? That's crazy to me. So one of the moms, they was giving her back, and it looked like a 2-year-old. And she's crying, my baby, my baby, my baby. But bitch, she don't deserve having the baby back. Because how did that child end up over there to begin with? What were you doing that you didn't have your eyes, all of them, your good ones and your bad ones, on the kid? And it just didn't feel real. And I don't mean to say nothing, you know what I mean? Because it could be, but how's a lot of the kids getting placed where they're being placed? But then this is the other thing. I just told y'all that in a facility, entertainment purposes only, they said that there is a lot of young girls, they weren't pregnant when they went in there. So what does that tell y'all? And then now they're being moved. This has been happening over time, and nobody, red or blue, has said anything, has done anything. So are we going to all collectively realize that one side is still helping the other side? And I'm just giving you a choice because I want you to think that you have options. Meanwhile, you don't really have no options. Planning gives us a sense of safety. It makes us feel like if I do A, then B will happen. But if life doesn't move in straight lines, unexpected things show up. The power was just restored after 24 hours, so I'm emptying the refrigerator. I'm listening to the girl. You know I was supposed to be on a flight this morning, so my flight got canceled, and so that's how I'm actually here. But you know, we make plans and God laughs. Hence the message. But anyway, I want y'all to feel like y'all have an option. You have an option in this. And mind you, it's even worse for people like me. Because I'm going to tell you why. When you can see certain things and you know that the only option, there's only one option here, right? There's no A or B. There's only one option. Get them going, right? Mind you, what we going to do about it? Like, because I can say everything that I need to say about, you know, both sides, this, that, and the third. I can say everything that I need to say, entertainment purposes only, about why are we stopping, you know, our history at when they came over here and started making rules and laws and this, that, and the third. But I don't want to stop there. I want to go to before they got here and get them going. Because that's not where my brain like stops at, wants to stop at, you know, the beginning, when things were the way it was supposed to be on this earth. So if you're not doing the right thing, but meanwhile, the way everything was set up, because even in, you know, the Bible that they was talking about, that I was talking about yesterday, I did a video, and the girl, in the Bible, it talks about the first, and every time I start talking about this, shit starts glitching. So, meaning the algorithm wants to be weird, because it's not that I'm talking about it, because the system I can talk about it. It's the algorithm wants to be, you know, messy, and they want to contain certain things. But anyway, entertainment purposes only. So it was talking about in her book, and this is the pages. It's one of the Holy Bibles, and I don't know how long ago, how old this Bible is. But the picture that I took, let me see, camera, and it goes back to King Solomon. So this is why I started listening, because y'all know me and King Solomon got some ties, right? So anyway, at least I think so. So anyway, it goes back to, it's saying that the first people, the first 3 grandmasters in this book that she has, one is King Solomon, the other one is King Hiram of Tyre, Tyre, and the other one is Hiram something. Hold on, let me see if I can pull it up. Let me see. The first, and this is the picture that is in the Bible, okay? So the picture, and entertainment purposes only, that's the picture that was in the book. I ain't make it, okay? Because they'll start saying I'm showing y'all shit that, I don't know, false information. But mind you, it's in the Bible. The girl's online, but they be trying to be weird. The first 3 THREE grandmasters. All right. And it says the first 3 grandmasters can mean different things depending upon the context. So let's break the comment. And this shit always want to do this because they know what the fuck I be talking about, but they be trying to do some weird ass shit. First officially grandmasters were Mikhail Bakseveniks, Paul Curtin, but this is not. There were actually 27 total in the first group. These were among the most recognized early figures. And then, no, I'm going to put in here King Solomon. So, KING, SOLOMON, and who? Because, y'all, they be on some weird shit. Like, you can tell that this is being tampered with only because I started to read a passage yesterday, right? One of the passages that she gave, because I took screenshots and she posted this thing, and it's written in cursive. This is another thing. And it says, let me see, the wise men line, biblical, mystical. No. It says the building of Solomon's temple. That's one of the pictures that she has. It was, it is from, let's see. All right, this right here. So I posted it yesterday. It was on her thing. But anyway, so what it says from the beginning, it says George Washington, the founder of this country, is what it says, was the first Grand Master of Masons. That's what it says, right? Right here. I took this picture and I put it in chat. Let me tell you how chat kicked out something else. And so it said George Washington something, something, something. And I said, can you read cursive? Chat said yes. I said, well, that's not what it say. It starts off like this. So even when you put, and here go the bots right here, because literally it's getting ready, it's now wanting to make sure that I'm here again. So I told y'all, as soon as I start talking about this shit, guess what? All of a sudden it's weird. Let me see. No, that's not what I'm talking about. So now they want to act like it don't want to see. Well, it says the first 3 grandmasters of Mason. That's let me see if I put this in here. Because it's acting like it don't. It's invisible. And now all of a sudden, you know, let me see if Google will look it up, because I hate when I be over here using this. Masons. But mind you, this is a Bible. This is a Bible that she's using. Solomon's symbol, King Solomon, Hiram the First, and Hiram Abiff is what it says. But let me see, is this what this says? Yeah, that is what it says. And it says Solomon, wisdom, the planner of the vision. Hiram, king of Tyre, strength, resources, support, and power. Hiram Abiff, beauty, skill, craftsmanship, execution. In Masonry, this becomes the foundation of everything. Wisdom, strength, and beauty. It says why they matter. These 3 are said to have worked together to build Solomon's temple, which in Freemasonry is more than a building, and it represents, right? Okay, so how does George Washington come into this? Which is also crazy, because George Washington, how does George Washington come into this? Okay, just so y'all know, right? I was watching, I was looking into my analytics on my YouTube, right? And when I went in there, it said, and I don't know if y'all know it or not, so for entertainment purposes only, it says that if you're talking about the war that's going on, or if you're condoning the war, your payment is being held. So just know that, okay? So I don't know if y'all seen that, but I seen it. It was a little note that came in, and so there's that. He is not one of the original 3 grandmasters. Those Solomon, Hiram, Abiff belong to ancient Masonic legend tied to Solomon's temple. Washington comes in much later as a real historical Mason. Initiated as a Mason in 1752 at Fredericksburg Lodge number 4, became a respected member but not a global Grand Master of Masonry. Served as a master of his local lodge, not one of the original symbolic founders. Why he is important. Washington is often highlighted because he represents the application of Masonic principles in real life, especially in leadership. So, example, he laid the cornerstone of the U.S. Capitol in a Masonic ceremony in 1793. But mind you, we're going to go on into saying this. King Solomon, if y'all don't know who King Solomon is the one that God gave the ring to, and told him to control the jinn and use the jinn to help him build a kingdom, right? Entertainment purposes only. Let's see. I don't want to lie to y'all. And just so y'all know, jinn were born in smoke. Smoke. Just hold on. I'll tell you the definition because I don't want to say it wrong. King Solomon is one of the most famous figures in the Bible, known as King of the Wise, King of Wise, Wealth, and Power. He ruled the United Kingdom of Israel around the 10th century BCE and is traditionally considered the son of David. Are we talking about the David from David and Goliath? Let's find out. All right, so anyway, what he's known for, extraordinary wisdom. Solomon is most famous for asking God for wisdom instead of riches or power, and received it. The classic story, two women claiming the same baby. Solomon suggests dividing the child to reveal the true mother. This showed his deep discernment and judgment, right? So let me see. Is this rather... Now, mind you, that's his daddy. So remember, we started talking about the giants, and I said it made me sad. It made me want to cry that the giants got taken off of the planet, the system, the map, entertainment purposes only. But King Solomon is the son of David, the one who slew the giant. But remember, I said there was brothers there? Now, again, with everything that happens in life, there's good, there's bad, there's indifferent, right? So there could have been good giants, there could have been bad giants, because that exists. There's good people and there's bad people, right? Now, it's looking like a whole lineup of some stuff that's happening here, because if you haven't made the correlation yet, again, Solomon played with the jinn, all right? What are the jinn? So, the jinn come from Islamic belief. They are invisible beings created by God, but different from both humans and angels. So, they're saying Islamic, but let's see. Are the jinn in the Bible? All right, so, hold on. What do they call them? Okay. What does the Bible call the jinn? Bible call the jinn. And how do you know they are referencing the jinn? All right. Crumble cookie, y'all. All right, so now it says the Bible doesn't reference the jinn, but they refer to similar beings. Okay, so it's a thing. I'm paying. Get out of my chat, please, sir. Go on and get. All right. Anyway, so let's see. What are we gonna go back? So Solomon. Back to Solomon, first of all. So who is Solomon? Solomon built the temple. He is credited with the building of Solomon's temple in Jerusalem. It became the central palace of worship for the Israelites. Symbolically, it represents order, divine connection, and sacred structure. Wealth and influence. Solomon's kingdom was described as extremely rich and powerful. Trade, gold alliances, and with other nations. Famous visits from Queen of Sheba, who became a test and wisdom. So y'all already know their story, but we ain't going in there because that ain't what we talking about. Anyway, writings traditionally attributed. He is believed to be connected to several biblical books. Proverbs, wisdom from daily life, Ecclesiastics, deeper reflection on life's meaning, Song of Songs, poetic love writings. Now, in the Song of Songs, it says, I am black, something, something or another. But the thing is that I don't know if it's the lady talking to Solomon, or if Solomon is talking to the lady. So in the Song of Songs, it says he's a black person, right? But mind you, they keep referencing Solomon. The picture I showed y'all was white, right? Because again, somewhere in history, and we keep explaining it, entertainment purposes only, for some reason they want to mark and put everybody as being white. Up is down, down is up. Good is bad, bad is good. Take it how it resonates, all right? But you can prove this yourself, even, as you're looking at things, because as you train a child to do good things in life, to be a good person, this, that, and third. But meanwhile, the bad people out here winning. The bad people's out here ruling the country. The bad people's out here doing, what bad people do. Entertainment purposes only. All right. So the other side of his story is Solomon wasn't perfect. He had many wives and foreign alliances. Later in life, he is said to have turned towards other influences. The story becomes a lesson. Wisdom doesn't always mean perfect choices. So why he still matters. Solomon represents the highest level of human wisdom, the ability to discern the truth from illusion, but also the warning that power without discipline can lead to downfall. Now, again, we got to take this all with a grain of stone, because depends on who's talking, it depends on who's listening and what he did, right? Because again, it could be the greatest deception that has ever been played upon us, because they told us there were no giants, but then they gave us giant stories. But also, we could have been the very thing that got rid of the giants. And if the Nephilim exactly existed, the son of man and daughters, guess who the descendants are? Okay, so Solomon is an archetype of wisdom, a man who had everything, knowledge, wealth, power, and still had to learn that understanding life is deeper than having control over it. Meanwhile, the point of this being is that entertainment purposes only, it is written, and we already talked about how shit be written. It could be true or not, right or wrong, up or down, inside or out. It says in this old Bible that the first three grand masters, King Solomon was listed as number one. All right, he was the first name they said. But mind you, we talking about George Washington, the person that they're telling us that also is in this statement, entertainment purposes only, is the person who, let me read it again, so that way I don't lie to y'all. It says, where you at? It says, George Washington, the founder of this country, was the first Grand Master of Masons of this Commonwealth, comprising the 13 original states of this land of liberty. Mind you, because you got to go back and forth. So it's written over here and here, and they start writing parts of it over here, and then you got to jump over here to finish what he's saying. So that's why I'm reading it like that. And then there's stuff right here that's in the middle, and that's that, whatever that thing is that's in DC right now. Whatever that long thing is, what do you, obelisk or something, that's the thing that's in DC right now. This is the top of the building. He laid the first cornerstone. All right. So let's listen. So David is the father of Solomon. David, he is the young shepherd who defeated Goliath in the famous story and later became king of Israel. So if you wanted to do something and you wanted to create a deception, or you, entertainment purposes only, because this is a story or a book or whatever, I don't know, this is their story. If you wanted safety, or if you wanted to make sure that a lineage couldn't come back to fuck up something because, it could be somebody get ready to come fuck something up. Of course, we wouldn't want the giants around, because they would have an advantage over the smaller people. Like a giant could kick like 10 soldiers clear across country, and it would be fine, depending upon how big they are. You know what I'm saying? Because when we be thinking of big, it's not big. It would almost be like 2 or 3 of me. But when I was thinking of giants, maybe there might have been some that were ginormous, okay? Because I don't know. I wasn't here. Mind you, I wouldn't have been the one trying to cover up and tell the lies. Now, if one posed a threat, You know, maybe we might want to take his ass down because, you know, why are you doing that? Eating up the people that's in a third. But there are hybrids is what they're calling, you know, the daughters of man and the fallen angels. So there's something happening with the DNA, entertainment purposes only, that they know. Okay? Mind you, a mutation is a mutation. We can look it up, see what it is, entertainment purposes only. But that bloodline still exists, okay? Take it how it resonates. Anyway, their stories actually balance each other out. David's strength, courage, faith, and action. Solomon, wisdom, discernment, understanding is like the father conquered external battles. The son mastered internal judgment. But mind you, we ain't done yet, so hold on. David fought giants. But it's supposed to be a metaphor. But mind you, Solomon existed. David existed. The giant existed. And mind you, we may have, entertainment purposes only, exterminated a whole race of people. That don't look good on our record. Mind you, you may not have done it, but your ancestors may have done that. Because they put it as if all of them were evil, but meanwhile, there's pictures of some just chilling with their family and going to work. But you can't be here if your genes or your genetics look like this. Does it remind you of anything? So again, you know, people fall asleep and we don't recollect what happened. Entertainment purposes only. Still don't make it right. For some reason, my heart feels sad every time I say it. So something ain't right, ain't sitting right with me. Because damn, we let that happen. The same way we letting all this other shit happen. And we still ain't gained the courage yet to fucking stand up and do nothing. Mind you, what are the jinn? Jinn come from Islamic belief. They're invisible beings created by God, but different from both humans and angels. So their origin, according to the Quran, jinn were created from smokeless fire, while humans were created from clay and angels from light. What makes them unique, jinn are often misunderstood. They are not automatically evil. They have free will just like humans, the ability to choose good or bad. They own communities, beliefs, and life. Their own communities, beliefs, and lives. So the jinn are good jinn, bad jinn, neutral ones. Good, bad, ugly, or indifferent. Ain't that what I said about people? Giants. Nephilim. Bloodlines. It's not so fairy tale-istic anymore. Game of Thrones. They're moving in on everybody's shit. We're oblivious because you got to go to work. They put so much stuff on you that your genetics, your code is not working properly. Entertainment purposes only. It's not working properly because why do we not make the correlation? This is not a fairy tale. It's actually real. The Game of Thrones was real. This is how they got their land. This is how they took our shit. This is why the books are in the vault. This is why they stand in places so publicly haughty to say you don't belong on land that belongs to you when they know they are the ones that don't belong here. But meanwhile, we just stupid every day living life because we don't want no problems. And that's part of the issue. We don't want no problems, but they want all the smoke. Meanwhile, you know, God can get it done as simple as wake the fuck up and y'all see it. And then whatever it shall be is what it shall be. Because, you know, we could have plans on, you know, doing nothing. And meanwhile, God has plans on doing everything. That's why I love the fact when they started some shit and then the people, the little people that they thought was little people, they said, oh no, don't run, little daddy. Please and thank you, because you saying you want it over, but we not done yet. There is more. Because David and Goliath. But mind you, we have to watch who we're attacking and when and why. Take it how it resonates. Entertainment purposes only. Are y'all entertained yet? If you are, tell me yes. Send some hearts. Tap the screen, please and thank you. Share the live. Can humans see them? Normally, no. They exist in an unseen realm, but some traditions say they can appear or influence the physical world in certain forms. So a jinn also gives me a trickster spirit, because remember, it says it's not in the Bible, but there are the same entities that basically, Anyway, the most famous jinn, Ilbilis. I don't know his name. It's I-B, or maybe it's a L. It's Lblis. All right. He is a jinn who refused to bow to Adam and became a rebellious figure. Does that not remind you of something? So the Quran says he's a jinn, but y'all call him a devil, because if that's one of the angels, remember he said, fuck y'all humans. I'm bigger and better than y'all. Do y'all not see how these stories are not so much stories anymore, but it's all in who's manipulating them? Because he is a jinn who refused to bow to Adam and became a rebellious figure. Now, I can go to the story in Genesis, or, wherever that is. It might not be in Genesis, so don't hold me to it. But where it says that God said whatever he said to, this nigga right here, and he said, I ain't doing it. Yeah, I'll look it up for y'all. Anyway, the story's there. What they represent, a deeper meaning. Beyond literal belief, jinn are often understood as representing unseen influences, inner impulses, good and bad, forces that exist outside of human perception. Now, for the life of me, I never understood why they was always in bathrooms and, sinks and things of that nature. But, I don't know. Maybe it's just the darkness of it or something. I don't know. Beings that exist alongside us, but within a dimension we usually can't see, with their own choices, just like us. And if you look it up, there's a book that talks about jinn, right? Literally. Entertainment purposes only. So the Bible versus the jinn. The idea of jinn comes specifically from Islamic traditions and the Quran, not the Bible. In the Bible, you won't find the word jinn, but here are similar beings, because I told y'all the jinn in the Quran is the same nigga that said, I'm not bowing to these little ass people, because fuck them. I'm a god and they're immortal or whatever, or mortal. And I'm not bowing to them mortal beings. But don't take it how I said it, because you know what I'm saying. Anyway, but there are similar beings. So there are different types of spiritual beings mentioned in the Bible that people sometimes compare to jinn. Demons, unclean spirits, called unclean spirits or demons, often associated with influencing or troubling humans. Example, stories involving Jesus Christ casting them out. These are usually seen as negative, unlike the jinn, which can be good or bad. But mind you, people be calling people demons, and mind you, they be helping more than, the people that be saying they good people. So again, take it how it resonates, because you have to have some discernment right here, right now on this plane, because this shit ain't right. Take it how it resonates. Angels, messengers of good. No free will. In the same way, they follow God's commandments. Very different from jinn. Satan, fallen beings. Satan and fallen angels, rebellious spirits, rebellious spirit beings. Sometimes compared loosely to rebellious jinn-like. I don't know this nigga name. But they are not the same concept. I'll look it up. Anyway, jinn, Islam, the word separate creation and free will, good, bad, neutral. Bible, mostly split between good angels, fallen, evil demons, and Satan. So same but not. But same. The Bible doesn't teach about jinn, but it does talk about unseen spiritual world, the veil. All right, so then I said, what does the Bible call the jinn, and how do you know that who they're referring to? So demon, unclean spirit is what it pulled up. Hebrew, usually translated as demon in English. Aramaic, evil spirit. So Aramaic is another thing that keeps coming up too, because that was the language. And some of these things be speaking foreign, and it's a translation. Like I said, when they came over here talking about the Romans and the Greeks and the English and the red coats is coming, but mind you, coming with talking papers. And mind you, I don't understand what the fuck you talking about, because we don't have that. And so then you bring this shit over here, and this is how you manipulate it. But mind you, entertainment purposes only, we got other foreign countries right now standing up saying that these niggas done violated every fucking thing that they done, they just be lying. Okay? But be mindful. Because we started this off as we make plans and God laughs. So they make plans and God laughs as well. So don't get it fucked up that even though they could be putting into the system that they're about to do this, that, and the third, they could be about to get their ass handed to them as well, because it looks like some things are being undone and straightened up. So just hold on, all right? Anyway, so Isaiah 34:14 talks about creatures like Lilith. And again, Lilith, often interpreted as a night demonic spirit of desolation. But Lilith is supposedly, let me put this in here. It was supposedly Adam's first wife. Now, of course, the bitch that don't want to listen is known as a demon. But nobody ever says that the man was being irrational, okay? So take it how it resonates. And as I've been looking into a lot of things, people who lived or people who have been writing in the Bible, entertainment purposes only, there are some books that are not in there. They hate fucking women. And if you listen to them, you will hear it and you will see it, because they describe women as not good and wiles, their feminine wiles, and just a bunch of stuff. But even if you look at how it's described, as the male version is the positive, hold on, how does it, the positive, and the woman is negative, even in fucking batteries. Hold on, let me see, who is Lilith? Like, it's a whole thing that has been set up against a woman. But mind you, we create life. And that's another thing that is the biggest misconception and freaking confusion. How can you hate your mom? That's crazy. But do what y'all will with that information. So Lilith is the one most mysterious and fascinating figures in ancient text. She is not fully described in the Bible, but she appears in Jewish folklore, mystical writings, and some Old Testament hints, but y'all heard them mention her there. Here's the detail and the breakdown. Lilith first appeared in Isaiah 34:14, often translated as a night creature or a screech owl in some biblical versions, because, in later Jewish mystical texts like Alphabet of Ben Sira 8 through 10th century, she became a fully developed character, the first wife of Adam before Eve, refused to be subservient and left Eden. She said, fuck out of here, nigga. I'm not doing what the hell you said, and I got to go. Because mind you, anyway, so independent and rebellious. She refuses to be under Adam's authority, flew away from Eden. She said, fuck out of here, nigga. Night spirits, demons. So then all of a sudden she got, because she didn't want to listen, she got associated with a demon. Ain't that the way? Now, this is the other thing. Male and female. And this is the thing that I keep saying, like, somewhere, even like the women, we have to start really paying attention, because a lot of this stuff, this old argument between men and women is way before even we got here. And I don't understand how they think that they're going to have one thing without the other. It's weird, because without us, you wouldn't even exist. But, it always has to be under, so they want to keep you dumb and stupid, so then that way you don't realize your power. And it's the reason why, entertainment purposes only, little people are coming up pregnant. Because we can't force the big bitches, because they are acting like their body belongs to them. Meanwhile, we need to make sure that we can have some people around here that we can control. At some point in time, y'all gonna have to pay attention. Over 20 years ago, entertainment purposes only, they made sure that nobody was going to be able to read anything that sounded or looked like this. Any of the census records. Everybody at one point in time from, all those old eras wrote in cursive. Because guess what? Even this shit, the beginning is in cursive. So if you don't know how to read in cursive, then you're not going to know what certain things are saying. And so it is here. So, let's see. How did they have it? Definition: a protruding part of the battery sticks out. Also called the positive. That's the male part. Looks like the small raised bump purpose fits into the female connector on the device. So female terminal is negative. Every fucking thing they have designed on this planet in their shit creates and pictures the woman as a negative. But mind you, we're the only thing that can double up some shit. It's the upside down. This place ain't right. I'm telling y'all, something is not right with this place. Because ain't no fucking way that they made a system that everything that is masculine hates females. Like, it has to be they're up here and you have to be under here. But without one thing, the other don't exist. That's crazy. Anyway, you know, they got it. They're going to do whatever they want to do with it. And it's weird, but it's not making sense. I mean, does that make any sense to y'all? Is it not throwing like hella bells and alerts and alarms that everything that they have, like men despise fucking women. It's in their system. But it's been there for a very long time. They were taught that. Some of the books that were hidden, that they don't have in there, literally describe, like, we are the evil that, and you know, we could potentially be, but technically we not is, like, everybody has the negative and the positive. Why do they just try to make it seem like there's nothing positive about the female? It's the strangest thing. And I feel like if they had to put that in there, a lot of women would have stopped having babies or would have stopped fucking with men a very long time ago. Mind you, it keeps being a thing that even in the fucking wild kingdom, entertainment purposes only. When the masculine starts to be a certain type of way, they start dealing with each other. The females go the other way because we don't got time. Save the drama for your mama. It's weird. Anyway, so we can go down here, and again, we make plans and God laughs. Same scenario. It goes for everybody. So the very thing that they think they could be using to, you know, go against could be the very thing that also fixes. So, Satan, fallen beings, Satan and fallen angels, rebellious spiritual beings, sometimes compared loosely to rebellious jinn-like whoever he is, but they are not the same concept. But they are, because they literally said that this person, the jinn, is this, whatever his name is the same being that told Adam and the thing that's in the fucking Garden of Eden. So same scenario. It is, for some reason, almost like the translation is off. Because again, I said they came with talking papers. And what the fuck is a talking paper? It's a contract. So in case you don't know, it is when the red coats, or the people, entertainment purposes only, came over here to steal the Indians' land. They wrote documents up and they said, this is here, this is the document. Mind you, there was no documents or papers here with that shit that they had on it, and this is how they were stealing. They made it legal, but it was illegal because it was never their property. It's like I said, if I come and I go to your house, if I go to the White House right now, they're going to try to have me arrested. But mind you, and I just go in there and start opening up doors and refrigerators and this, that, and the third. Meanwhile, that's the same thing that they did when they came over here, though. They just brought some documents, some talking papers, and started rallying people up and getting rid of some people, which is why, again, they're so boastful on history will repeat itself. Because the people not done being stupid yet. And so, take it how it resonates. If you don't like it, then stop being that. Because stop being that. Anyway, back here. So Lilith didn't want to listen. She's independent and rebellious. She refused to be under Adam's authority, flew away from Eden. So she's the first rebellious bitch. But mind you, don't that say something that the very first woman on earth that came into existence wanted to run away from a nigga? But we're wrong. We're the negative of a situation. Okay? So anyway, the first rebel, the night spirit, the archetype, the female independence and danger in the spiritual world. Because she didn't want to listen to whatever it was that he was doing that didn't make any fucking sense. What is this? Alright, anyway, we make plans, God laughs, certain things happen the way they just happened, and hopefully that helped. Because, you know, we just gonna go on and get, because hopefully I made the message make sense. Anyway, so the more grounded is to plan with intention, move with effort, but stay flexible enough to pivot when life shifts, because control is limited, but alignment is powerful. Be mindful that sometimes things the way they seem is not the way that they are. It's about also having the full information. So the way when we make plans and using what we currently know, our perspective, our time, our desires, our limited understanding of what's ahead, but God operates from a much wider view, and sees the connections, times, and outcomes that we can't. So when we say God makes plans and we make plans and God laughs, it's saying that your plans are not saying that your plans are stupid, but you know, again, here we are. They're incomplete, which is where we were left off because we don't have a full picture of something. The illusion of control. Planning gives us a sense of safety. It makes us feel like if I do A, then B will happen. But life doesn't move in straight lines. Unexpected things show up. Delays, redirections, losses, random opportunities, random spirits, random people, random opportunities, random occurrences. And then suddenly your perfect plan does not fit anymore. That moment feels like a failure, but it's actually exposure. You were never fully in control to begin with because things be out of our control. And again, I said, I wanted to do something, but the way this was being set up, and at the time, it just looked like a whole hindrance to me because Comcast was getting on my nerves. Well, Xfinity was getting on my nerves, but also it was working out the way it needed to be worked out. And then what happened this morning, I'm supposed to be at the airport, but meanwhile, actually, I should be landing somewhere right now. But mind you, I'm here right now. So I am where I was meant to be. The moment feels like a failure, but it's actually exposure. Not supposed to do that, not at this moment in time, or something had to, be readjusted. So redirection versus rejection. What feels like when things are going wrong is often things going different than you planned. So a certain relationship, it ends. A certain job, you didn't get it. A certain timeline, everything slows down. Or shit just starts to change because it needed to change. So at first it feels like a loss, but later you often see the silver lining in the situation. Why did this happen? That relationship wasn't stable. That job would have drained you. The timing would have rushed something that you were not ready for. Maybe something happening and we don't know what, that plane has in store. We don't know what that location has in store. We don't know who, maybe, the intersection or the timing of where I need to be to meet whoever, or where this person needs to be to meet, whatever. However. So timing is the real lesson. We plan based on what we want, the things that we want, but life moves based on when things are ready. So something may not have been ready. Something may have been about to happen. I told you the other day, I woke up. I was knocked out, laid out, sleep. Woke up late, supposed to been somewhere, get up and, was getting ready to rush. I decided not to rush. Good morning, Chico. Decided not to rush. On the way back, guess what? It was a massive accident there. If I had have been, normal time, normal situation, I'd have been right in the midst of that accident. Don't know what could have happened. Either way, things happen the way that they're supposed to happen. So we plan based on when we want things, but life moves based on when things are ready. There's a difference. You can want something deeply, but still not be in position to sustain it yet. And why do you want God to give you something that you're not going to be able to hold on to? So delays aren't always punishment, they're preparation. Mind you, I already told you we was in a foyer, in the hallway. So the door's right there. We can see the door opening. Thank you, Chico. We can see the doorway. It's also blinking right here. All you have to do is open up the door. But sometimes we be, contemplating on what happened. Do I even want to? Sometimes it's just basically about taking the first step. So delays aren't always punishment, they're preparation. The balance, plan and release. Thank you. It's plan like it's up to you, release like it's not. So even though you make plans and then something happens, it's cool because we just gonna go with the flow, especially when it's out of your control. The balance looks like taking action but not forcing outcomes, because we don't have to force any outcomes. We don't have to force connections. We don't have to force opportunities. What's meant for you is always going to be meant for you. And when the time is right, the time is going to be the time. Having vision, but not being rigid. Trusting that detours might actually be upgrades. Mind you, I told y'all the detour definitely upgraded, because guess what? I got so much more from not doing the thing. And so it may not be the time. It may be a different time because there was something that was happening now. But now I got stuff to be able to do this and that. I definitely got to upgrade. So take it how it resonates. Anyway, sometimes your plans are based off who you used to be, what you thought you wanted, what you settled for in your mindset and at the time. Excuse me. So when life disrupts those plans, it's not always against you. It can be correcting you because, maybe something different also needs to take place. And mind you, I had stuff that I really, really needed and wanted to do also in the process. So I totally get, why certain things were happening. And somebody said, I'm sorry that happened. I said, no, it was for the best. That was my response. Because it technically was. I got stuff that needs to happen even in the process. Stuff that was unfinished that needs to be done. So here we are. We make plans, God laughs can really mean you try to control the outcome, but life has a better route. You aim for comfort, but growth required discomfort. Man. You wanted certainty, but transformation needed uncertainty. You wanted certainty, but transformation needed uncertainty. So I made plans from my perspective. Life responded from a higher one. I thought I was being delayed. I was actually being redirected. Point blank, period. And again, this message is brought to you by I Don't Teach Tarot. Click the link in the bio and get you a copy. How many of y'all have this? Does any of y'all have this at all, period? If you don't, get you a copy, please and thank you. Other than that, thank you for being here. Hopefully this message helped, and continue on making your plans accordingly, but also, like I said, be open enough to when they change, know that it's not a punishment. It is, whatever, what shall, que sera, sera, what shall be, shall be. And I trust God. So whatever's happening is the way it's supposed to happen. And I've been, open to a couple of things lately, but I've noticed the alternating. Like when this happens, this also happens at the same time. And when this happens at the same time, it benefits me better than the other thing. So anyway, I love it here in life. And more growth, more prosperous, more abundance, and things are going to go the way they need to go, and we just are going to be cool with it. So I ain't got no complaints, although I could be complaining, you know what I'm saying? And then who gonna listen anyway? No fucking body. Don't nobody got time for that. So God is good. Keep on pushing and do the things that you need to do. So what's everybody doing today? Because before we get out of here, is your heart open, your mind open, your attitude, on the uplift? Do you need me to sing to you or anything to make you feel good? Is there anything I could do for you today? Can I be of service to you somehow to make you smile? Or did I already do that? Because if not, then, I'm going to be up out of here. Just know that I love y'all and thank y'all for being here. Chico, how's your day? Are you feeling okay? Abby, how you doing? I see y'all still in there. T Lake, how you doing? All right, everybody must be wherever they at. All right, I love y'all. See y'all later. Go with God.